All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrell from the Nosebleeds. First off, I just want to say thank you all for the continuation, the continued support. I know we've had about a month off, so I'm gonna explain that for a little bit. I was supposed to do like a state of the channel address like 2 months ago, and never really got around to it. And now we're here. Now we're here. It's now March. We haven't done a show since we did the introductory press conference for Tom Monk, and we haven't done the show since. So this is going to be the first recording since then. Obviously, I'm not going to edit this up or anything like that. And for my returning fans, which by the way, if this is your first time here, welcome. If you guys are coming back, welcome back. For long time fans of the channel, I do these. I used to do these once a month, but I kind of doing these every so often, or when I have the time, or when I feel like doing it. I just call them state of the channel addresses. Um, and this is more so. It's not fact based. It's more like what's going on with me. It's kind of therapeutic for me, and it's a good update for you guys as well to know what's going on behind the scenes as well, or like while Tyrell hasn't made any content in a month, what's going on, this, that, and third. And this is not the first time this channel is going on a 1 month hiatus. We did this back in November when I was going through a lot of personal issues. This one was more of taking a break, and assessing or readjusting my free time into other areas that I wasn't doing because I was trying to get this up and going and everything like that. And it was just time for me to take a little break. I know I wanted to make more wrestling content, which we're gonna do. I've not forgotten about that. I've not, gone back on that. I'm a wrestling fan. Y'all see the titles back there. But this is just like, the NFL season is over. I don't really pay attention to combine. I don't get that high into a bunch of guys working out in shorts and t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'll see the numbers. It is what it is. But free agency is coming up. We're gonna do probably an hour stream tomorrow, talking about the latest moves that happened today and what's gonna be happening tomorrow. Like I said, wrestling content with March Madness is starting to come up, NBA basketball. So there's a lot that's going on, but I just needed to take time for myself to kind of get ready for that. And also keep it a bug with you guys. Be honest with you. I don't I think I have like one video where it's somewhat political, and that was like the death of Charlie Kirk. And just seeing the reaction, I kind of had like a reaction to the reactions, right? But if you guys have been paying attention, which I'm pretty sure most people are, during that time that between now and from the last live stream, a lot of information of the Epstein files came out. And I was reading, watching videos, seeing pictures, watching videos of people talking about these files. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it got to the point where it fried my brain. So I guess this was a bit of a mental break. And I didn't want to come on here and talk about it because, and then that also made me feel guilty because some people were like, well, you're talking about sports, or you people talk about sports when this is what you should be talking about. And I finally was just like, no, I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about, my own human being. And it doesn't mean that I don't care any less about the Epstein file. It's that I'm just gonna do what I've done with sports and just use it as an escape. There's a lot going on with the Epstein files and what's going on with Iran and what's going on with our country right now that I really just don't want to get into it because I don't want my political views going out there and staring one way or the other. You're like this, you're like that. I'm going to be like Switzerland. I'm just going to be neutral. But it doesn't mean that this stuff hasn't been frying my brain. It doesn't mean that the things that I've been seeing, the things I've been hearing, the things I've been reading has messed me up to my core at moments where, I kind of tell a personal story. Y- Y'all know that I have children, and it was my son's birthday, and my son is old enough to vocalize, where does he want to go for his birthday? And he's like, I want to go to Chuck E. Cheese, Chuck E. Cheese, Chuck E. Cheese, Chuck E. Cheese. So that was the deal. All right. You gather the money, gather the people, gather what we need to gather. Let's go to Chuck E. Cheese and have a good time. So, in the midst of me reading the Epstein files and me like watching the video on it, come to find out the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese was a part of the Epstein files and not in a positive way. And I've always, my friends know this, I've always not been a fan of Chuck E. Cheese. Wasn't a big fan of it as a child. Wasn't a fan of it as an adult. Always just went because my friends had kids and that's where they went. And then I have kids and that's where we went. And my son's birthdays are back to back. So it's like one is in this month, one is in this month. And so I went to Chuck E. Cheese 2 times in a row, like two months in a row. And they have, I call him Charles because it's not the animatronics and he's not big. He's all skinny and grown man. And I'm watching, and this is like my first time where I knew, okay, this is kind of like, be honest with you, it's kind of fucking me up, right? I'm standing there watching my son. I'm watching both of my sons. I'm watching all my kids because I got my sons, I'm watching my sons, and what the normal kids do. They see the mascot, they know who Chuck E. Cheese is, they love him, it's like, but to me, it was like, this shit is weird. Like, I always thought this shit was weird because it's like some grown ass man is in a rat costume high-fiving kids. And to me, it was just a little weird. And you just go, oh, you need to get your mind out of it, whatever. Just to me, it was just always, even when I was a child, I'm like, this is weird. I'm not about to, this is weird. Because like they used to have the animatronics and then they had the dude in the costume. I just thought it was a little weird. Then about the recycled pizza. I don't think it's a conspiracy at all. Like, every time I go to Chuck E. Cheese, it is never a rounded pizza. So I'm standing there and my son's just having the time of his life. Like, he's just smiling, he's giggling, and for the first time I couldn't enjoy it. Like, I know it is, and maybe it's a shitty thing to say, maybe it's a selfish thing to say, but I was having this like internal crisis right in the middle. And I'm not displaying it, I'm not outwardly expressing it, but internally I'm like, fuck this shit, get my kids away from this fucking mascot, fuck this. Like internally screaming, this is not fucking normal. This is not normal. This company, the CEO, they were just on this fucking file and I'm watching my fucking child interact with this damn mascot. And that's what was going on. And then it got to the point where my girl tapped me on the shoulder and she like, you good? I don't hide my facial expressions that much, but I guess she could just tell I wasn't like smiling through what I was like, enjoying the moment like I should have been. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. But I wasn't. Like, it was just like the internal screaming of, get my kids away from this mascot. And then I had the opportunity, this is crazy, because now it's my nephew's birthday. The following, and again, it's Chuck E. Cheese all over again. But at this point, I've stopped reading the files, stopped watching videos, and I was even stopped having the memes pop up in my algorithm because I was just fed up. I was just done, just completely done with it all. And kind of the same thing happened. I was enjoying the moment, but there was something interesting that caught me off guard, like genuinely caught me off guard. So, again, Chucky's there, all the kids, they gather around. This time I'm enjoying it because my head is out of it. And at this point, I've already felt bad for how I acted at my son's birthday party. So I'm like, let me just chill. Let me just relax. And my son, who, mind you, month prior is going crazy about Chucky and the whole 9 yards. And he's high-fiving them and trying to hug them. And is like jumping up and down. If you guys ever been to Chuck E. Cheese, whether taking your kids there or like going there for like a friend's or like your family member, whatever. We've all been to Chuck E. Cheese as an adults. Most of us have been to Chuck E. Cheese as an adults. My son was just celebrating his birthday not that long ago. Not that long ago. Pulls me to the side. Like he's playing with Chucky. And then he just stops, like dead in his tracks, comes up to me and starts guiding me towards the games. And I looked at him, I said, "Hey, don't you want to go?" I was like, "You love Chucky?" Because this is not about me. The first time I made it about myself. Like I felt bad for doing that. So I'm like, I'm like, don't you want to go enjoy Chucky? Like, go, I was like, you love Chucky and everything like that. He's like, no, I want to play games with you. And I almost cried a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, you want to play games with me? He's like, yeah, I missed you. Because he was at his grandfather's house before we got there. And me and him, but the whole mouse thing was going on and everything like that. And me and him just playing the game. Me and him just playing together. Or I'm just walking around while he, takes the play card and just tapping it all over the place. Right. And that's kind of where and it kind of like between not reading that stuff anymore, not and I've seen the stuff with the Bill Clinton and Hillary, and I've not watched the entire depositions. I watched pieces here and there, but I've learned to like filter it a little bit. But overall, it was just like, man, that first time really like feel like a bad father for making it about myself. I feel like a terrible parent for having an eternal issue while meanwhile I'm at the same exact moment that I'm watching my kids enjoy the like at this point the happiest moments of their life, or like this is the most important happiest thing that they can do, because kids don't think far back or far forward. They're in the moment. So yeah, that was crazy to me. That was like really really crazy to me. And that's kind of like between just taking a break in general to spend more time with my family, taking a break in general to get things with my house in order, taking time for my personal life instead of like the YouTube life, because I knew I was gonna ramp this up with the draft and all this other stuff, and there's a strong possibility I'm going to Pittsburgh for the draft. Not totally sure yet. Um, you know, birthday parties can knock out you financially so fast. Um, so I'm still trying to figure that out. But like overall, I'm just very thankful for the life that I have, and I'm very thankful for the people I share with. I'm thankful for my woman. I'm thankful for my children, and I'm thankful for you guys. You guys have been patient. Y'all have been there since the beginning. Since we started this back up back in January last year, really ramped it up in July. And I think there's like one video from me like 3 years ago talking about Stephen A. Smith. You guys go check it out when I had it under the old name. And I still haven't gotten the lighting is kind of the same, but I still want to add another lamp here. I still want to just I got to start looking at processes of like improving the lighting here, improving the background, getting a better laptop. But you guys have stuck through it all. You guys have been supportive through it all. You guys have shared. You guys have liked. You guys have commented. You guys have subscribed. And I do get positive feedback. I get negative feedback too, and I appreciate all the feedback because I'm not one of those people that believes that I need to filter out negative feedback. You can sit back and say anything about me. I got thick skin, bro. Don't care. Don't care. If you want to say hurtful things about me, I'll just shut the computer off and call it a day and not get back on this platform. Not a big deal to me. But I don't get that usually. I get that here and there, but it won't affect me. I won't let it affect me. Um, and I'm just thankful for the continuing support that you guys, you know, show me, this channel, what I'm trying to build. We're still on the road to 150. I know we kind of took a break at it, but we're 32 away. So please hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe. And I always want to know what you guys think as well. But I just thank you all so much for the continuation, the support that you guys bring to the table, that you guys do and everything like that. And I know it's cliche, but it's very, very true. This wouldn't be possible without y'all. I'm very baffled that I have 128 subscribers still. But like I said, let's get to 150, let's get to 200, let's go ahead and let's grind this out. Nosebleed section is back. We're doing a live stream tomorrow for about an hour, talking about the free agencies and stuff like that. And then we're gonna talk about some wrestling content. We're gonna get this thing up and going. Gonna have friends of the show back, maybe some new faces on the show. But I just want to thank you all so much. And if you guys make it to the end of this video, if you don't, whatever. Whether you, and it's just like you clicked on it for 5 seconds, you stay the entire time, stay whatever y'all did. Just thank y'all so much. And you guys notice new logo and everything like that. So that's a beautiful thing too. So looks a little bit more clean, a little bit more professional. But nonetheless, this is Nosebleed. This is Tyrell. Until next time, thank you all so much for your continued support. It's only up from here. This is Tyrell signing off.